Boston QZ, 2033. The hum of electric fences echoed faintly in the distance as Ana Marquez moved through the shadows of the quarantine zone. Her boots crunched gravel and debris, but it was the silence in the air that pressed hardest on her shoulders. Ana wasn't a soldier. She was a ghost in a city of ruins. Once a med student, now an informant for the Fireflies, FEDRA's most hated insurgents. She wore the gray rags of the zone's workers, but beneath her coat was a sidearm and a vial of morphine stitched into the lining. Inside Building D of Sector 5, refugees lined up for rations. FEDRA guards towered above them with rifles, their black armor catching rays of weak winter sunlight. She passed them all, ducking into the half-collapsed stairwell at the back. There, hidden behind a false wall, was the real reason she was in the QZ. "You're late," hissed a voice. Two figures stepped forward. Malachi Kai Rhodes, a former smuggler turned Firefly captain, and Jules, a young scout with an eye for explosives. Ana tossed her pack onto the floor and let out a breath. FEDRA's doubling patrols. They must have gotten wind of the convoy. The convoy, carrying weapons and medicine, was scheduled to breach the wall in 48 hours. They've shifted trucks to the north wall. That's where they'll intercept. Jules scratched his head. Then we don't go north. We go through the tunnel. The tunnel's flooded, Ana said, and crawling with infected. Better them than FEDRA, Kai replied coldly. At least they don't lie to your face. Ana looked him over. The fire in his eyes was burning hot again. She could see it, the rage, the pain. His brother had been hanged 2 years ago by FEDRA for suspected Firefly ties. No trial. No warning. Just dead. She nodded slowly. All right, we go through the tunnel. The tunnel's mouth was a gaping wound in the earth, choked with vines and rusted scaffolding. Anna's flashlight flickered against the walls, illuminating decades of mold and decay. They moved in silence. Kai up front with his rifle, Ana in the center, Jules covering their six with a revolver too big for his hands. Water pooled at their ankles. Rats squealed in the dark. The air was damp and foul, a mix of sewage and something else. Something older. Ana clutched her scarf closer to her mouth. "Lights off," Kai whispered. A second later, they heard it. The low click, click, of a stalker. It moved through the shadows just ahead, scraping its fungal growths against the tunnel walls. Ana felt her pulse hammering. Then it wasn't just one. It was 3. Jules pulled a bottle from his pack, stuffed a rag in its neck, and lit it with trembling hands. "Molotov," Kai shook his head. "Save it. I'll draw them. You two move left. Flank and finish." Ana wanted to argue, but she knew better. He was gone in a flash, making noise and drawing the infected into a side corridor. Gunshots cracked in the dark. Screams followed. Then silence. She and Jules moved fast, axes drawn. Ana buried her blade into the neck of one clicker. Jules fumbled but managed to shoot the other through the skull. When they found Kai again, he was bleeding but alive. A deep gash on his arm. His breathing shallow. "You're insane?" Ana muttered, wrapping the wound. Kai chuckled, teeth red with blood. "Not insane. Just tired of watching good people die slow." They pressed on. Hours passed in darkness. By dawn, they emerged into the skeleton of a ruined mall outside the QZ. And there, tucked beneath collapsed signage and shattered skylights, was the convoy. 3 trucks, 6 Firefly soldiers, and a woman Ana had never seen before. Mid-30s, scar across her lip, eyes sharp as razors. "Serena Vallon," she introduced herself. "You're late." Kai just grinned. They moved at dusk. The convoy rumbled through the skeletal outskirts of the city, Ana riding shotgun in the lead truck. Her heart beat like a drum in her ears. Behind them, the second truck carried the medical crates. The third was armed with a mounted machine gun and Serena herself, barking orders. Everything was going smoothly, too smoothly. Then the road exploded. The lead truck flipped, thrown like a toy into a burned-out gas station. Screams tore through the static. Anna's vision went white, then black. When she came to, the world was fire. FEDRA troops poured from the tree-line, masked and armored. Bullets sang. Flames danced. Serena's voice crackled through radios, but it was chaos. Ana crawled through broken glass, coughing blood. She saw Kai across the road, dragging a wounded Firefly out of the wreckage. Jules lay motionless, his leg twisted unnaturally. This wasn't an ambush, it was an execution. Then she saw it. A FEDRA officer, a woman with a blue armband, holding a flamethrower. Serena screamed, "Valdez, fall back! Fall back!" The woman fired. The second truck erupted. Medicine burned. Ana stared in horror, rage blooming like poison in her gut. She grabbed Kai's rifle and ran, weaving through gunfire until she reached the officer. Without thinking, she pulled the trigger. 3 shots. 1 to the chest. 1 to the leg. 1 between the eyes. The woman fell. And then it was over. FEDRA retreated, leaving bodies and ash in their wake. Firefly reinforcements arrived minutes too late. Serena knelt beside Jules' body, her eyes hollow. "He was 17, she whispered. Ana didn't reply. 1 week later, Firefly Safe House, Hartford. The survivors sat in silence. Ana, Kai, Serena, and 3 others. From a force of 21, only 7 remained. "The supply lines are shattered," Kai said quietly. "We lost more than trucks. We lost hope." Ana looked down at the photograph in her hand. Jules, grinning awkwardly, holding up a busted Walkman he'd scavenged. "We light the fire again," she said finally. "But this time we burn smarter. Not louder." Serena nodded. "We'll rebuild. But no more convoys. We hit them where it hurts now. 1 bullet at a time." Outside, the world was still broken. But in that room there was something new, an ember in the ashes. Ana lit a cigarette and passed it to Kai. "For Jules," she said. "For everyone," he replied. And the smoke curled upward, a pale thread of rebellion against the dark.